Welcome to Opinion Havers, a movie podcast for people who voted for Donald Trump twice. I'm Cody.
And I'm Tyler.
Tyler, what movie did we watch?
We watched The Blackening, Cody.
Yes, we did it.
That's
Tyler,
what we watched.
We did it. We're here. It's spooky time, everyone's favorite time, and it's happening, you know?
Yeah.
Tyler, you know, why don't you just tell me what even was this movie?
Cody, this movie, and this for the first time, I think in a long time, I'm going to give you a good explanation of what this is. This is a horror movie with black people instead of white people, and it shows that they, you know, it's the story of why you have to kill the black people so fast if you're going to murder a group of friends. Because they'll get you, Cody. They'll get you. You know, Cody, you and I know when we go out in the woods and we be crazy serial killers, crazy racist serial killers, you gotta just get the white teenagers. They're the easiest to get.
Easy prey, yeah.
They're the
Not
ones
a care in
like,
the world, you know?
They're the ones that are going to run away from their cars. They're going to hide behind the chainsaws. You know, they're going to lock themselves in the basement. You don't even have to try to kill them. You just have to startle them around 11 p.m. and they'll just die throughout the evening of their own free will, you know?
Yes. So it's a Juneteenth movie. Tyler, I mean, let me just tell you, I'll give you my hot take. Delightful film. You know, it's a great one. It's one that I saw in the theaters with Bailey, and, you know, she usually likes movies that we see, especially when we see kind of the, you know, general blockbuster kind of movies, but it was one of the rare times where it's like, oh, we're both jamming on this movie, you know? It was a good one. I'm a fan. I'm just going to say it. It's spooky time. It's funny. It's a little spooky. And it's funny, you know. Those are the big three. If you can achieve all three of those, then you've got yourself a good one. What's your hot take on the movie?
I thought it was good. I thought it was going to be much more Scary Movie or Medea, or like I didn't think it was going to straddle the line as well as it did. I thought it was going to go way more funny or way scarier, you know. And the funny was just going to be little moments, but it is like I think so much of the funny is like the almost like realistic reactions to this, but the villains are like horror movie villains, but these are like real people in the situation, and like that's where a lot of the funny comes from.
Yeah, it is interesting because we've done Medea movies before. We've done Boo. I think we did Boo as one of our Halloween movies. Yeah, Bailey loves Boo 2, A Medea Halloween, better than Boo, A Medea Halloween. So just beware, you know. And I don't like him at all. And she watched with her family and they loved him, you know. So this movie I feel like was the perfect mix of Boo 2, A Medea Halloween and like a Cody movie, indie movie kind of mushed together. And it was like it had the right vibes of both, you know. That's where I'm coming from. So I don't know. We both liked it a lot. It was a good one.
Yeah. I just, you know, if you feel like you need to see this as a indie grassroots, you know, movie, low budget movie to like it, then yep, that's what it is, Cody. It's a little indie project.
No, it's really cool. It's really cool. I discovered it first, obviously, and that makes me better than you. And that's what the important thing to get out of the podcast.
Here's the thing, Cody. The trailer is auto playing on my other monitor.
Love it.
But the color is all messed up in this trailer, so it looks like everyone's wearing lipstick.
Well,
and then they came on Ranger White. And he looks just like he's wearing like very aggressive makeup. And it's very funny. And I'm like, that would have It would have been so funny. It would have made no sense, but it would have been very funny. But now I'm wondering if it's intentional because it does make the lips all real red. But then it's also like everyone's fingertips look like they're ET's fingertips.
Oh.
So I think it is just the color messed up and not an intentional thing.
I think your computer's broken. I think you got a virus. I think you need to burn it all down, buy a new one. Start fresh. Probably. Wow. Tyler, is there anything else to say before we dive into this one?
I'm sure there is. Just, let's sit here in silence for a few minutes.
Yeah.
Ponder on it, and let's see. I was worried that my fan was going to get picked up on the microphone, Cody, and I looked at my levels. Not even a little bit. So if you can hear my fan, you're going crazy. That's all else. That was the only other thing I had to say.
Well, I'm ready then. Take me.
All right, Cody. Just Cody, take this. I mean, they just drive cars, but here's what we're gonna do, Cody. We're gonna go a little off the beaten path here, Cody. Open your mouth. I'm just gonna slip a little something in there. All right, and we're just gonna go on a nice little trip. Nice little trip to Spoiler Town, USA. All right.
Oh, good news. My Molly just hit. All right.
It was Adderall, Cody. That's what I gave you. I gave you Adderall. Yeah.
I forgot that's your drug of choice.
Oh, it is. I got so much of it. It's right over there.
Mm-hmm.
Got about 60 pills of it over there.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Tyler, the real question is, you going first? You going second?
Oh, Cody, we do this every time, and I forget every time that we do this, I mean, here's the thing. You haven't seen this movie in, a year and a half, probably? Because you probably watched it last year and haven't seen it since.
False.
My guess.
I watched it last week. So, in your face.
Oh. Because usually, you're like, oh, yeah, I watched this movie. And then you're like, I haven't seen this movie in 6 months. And I'm like, well, you suggested it.
My brain is an encyclopedia of all movies I've ever seen. I haven't forgot a detail from a single movie. Go ahead and ask me any of the James Bond movies we watched. I'll tell you all about it.
Name one of the James Bond movies we watched.
A View to a Kill. Next. Go ahead.
What was the name of the Bond girl in that movie?
Yeah, Pussy Galore. Go ahead. Next.
That's not that one. It's not that one. It's
the only name I can remember.
Cody, you could have said any other sex pun, and I would have been like, yep, nailed it. But that one I know is not from that movie.
Oh, darn. I was close, though.
No. I mean, were you?
You're going to tell me I wasn't?
Yeah. Look at Boog. All right, find Boog. Ask him, were you close? He'll say, meow, which means no.
That sounds exactly like him. Well, Tyler, I think that means I'm going first. So Let's get ready because we're not ready. And we'll go in 3, 2. It's still loading. It's not ready yet. Go. Tyler, I'm just going to say it. It's the best Juneteenth movie ever. Look, everyone else is out here pretending like they care about Stop undressing in front of me. Like they care about Juneteenth. This movie gets it, all right? Here, how do you celebrate Juneteenth? You go out in a cabin, you fight off some racists. That's how you do it. That's how you take down the system, okay? Look, I love the villain design. I thought it was great. I loved that it played into, like, I don't know, the racism thing, and it's got the board with the blackface guy on it, and what they call him, I forget. And then, but then they got the guy in the mask doing the killing, and I thought it was great. I thought it fit the vibe just great. And, to balance the humor with the horror, it was just It's a fine line. Let me tell you about my experience watching this movie. We roll up to the theater. You know how it is. You know how we do. It's the daytime, and we're sitting close to the front. Bailey picked the movie, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's go. Let's go to the movie. We went there. It was us in the front. We are white. And then there were like 5 to 8 black couples and families sitting in the very back. And I was like, oh, this is going to be a good movie. And you know what? I was right. Okay. It was us, about 13 rows of blank seating, and then the rest of the audience, and we had a great time. And I'll tell you this, I think I laughed the hardest out of anyone in this movie, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Let's say it was a good thing. And you know, Bailey and I, we laughed at different things, but we laughed at some of the same things, all right? My favorite thing, easy. You're going to ask me? I'll tell you right now. It's when the Urkel character runs by the guy with the gun. He got the gun sideways. He runs up, turns the gun right side up, and then he runs back. I was like, oh, man, when he turned the gun the right side up, it sent me. You know, I died, and it was great. It was great. There's a lot of good bits. I like the head voices. The girls are talking, you know, they're just giving each other the looks, communicating. It's a good one. The guys can do it too, but you know, like you run into problems because then the villain can hear you too because he's there too. So you gotta watch out for that. He shouldn't have been like the comedic star of the movie, but I love the Urkel dude. I don't know. I thought it was such a funny, like weird, stupid bit to do is to be like, this guy is gonna like look and talk like Urkel, and that's his whole thing, you know? But he got me. He had some good ones. He voted for Trump twice, and that's what really turned everyone against him. That's what I love that was the thing that did it, you know? He accidentally smelled the dick, you know? He did it. It was him. He did it by accident. I liked him, you know? And I think my favorite part about his character, aside from like the turn where he is the villain, which is like, it makes sense, you know? But they pulled out the Ouija board. He's like, I had a Ouija board once. I tried to summon Gary Coleman, which is, I don't know if you know this. That's the guy that played Urkel. And, you know, it cracked me up. Or wait, or is that the other guy? Now it's not. Oh, he's the little guy. Anyway, I messed up, all right? Anyway, tried to summon Gary Coleman. I don't know. I just liked him. I really like the gay character. I can't remember his name, but he actually co-wrote the movie. And I thought he was probably the best actor. I thought it was interesting. It wasn't anyone I really recognized except for at the start of the movie. It was Jay Farrow. He's an SNL alum. And that was, rewatching it, probably my other favorite bit was they're starting in the thing and they're doing the trivia and talking about all the movies. And they're like, they always kill the black people for, they had to name a black person who survived a horror movie, I think. And he named Jada Pinkett Smith in Scream or Scream 2. And they're like, they died. And like, oh, right. There's no way they could have afforded her. That's why they killed her first. And then, like, they give each other the side eye. It's like, oh, wait, yeah. Jay Farrow, you're the only guy I recognize here. They can't afford your salary, And they kill him off. That was great. It was a good bit. It was a real good one. There's the one guy who's trying to prove he's not African, and he's like, I'm from the Bay Area, so go Golden State, go Raiders. And you're like, that just makes you more black. And I was like, it's a pretty good point. It's a pretty good point. And, oh, that note, I gotta save it for later. My other favorite one, and this is from the rewatch, but they're making up, and he's in the middle of apologizing to the gay guy. Oh, I hit my mic. He's in the middle of apologizing to the gay guy, and someone interrupts him. He's like, "You saw how long he was talking. Why'd you have to interrupt my apology?" And it was
Cody,
great.
I'm gonna have to interrupt your apology.
It was a good one.
That's what I have to do. All right. You shush
how
now.
long I was talking.
No, now I'm going to talk the same amount of time. Here we go. Cody, let me tell you about this movie, okay? This movie is funny, Cody, look at me, all right? It's funny, and you know what? It's funny. It's funny, What if I just said that over and over for the next 5 minutes? No, but I liked the movie a lot. I liked it more than I thought I was going to. I've been interested in this movie. I wish I had seen it when it came out now, right? I've been putting it off. It's on my enormously long list of my backlog, right? Of movies. I liked how it opened with just the couple there at the cabin and the can't remember her name, the girl of the couple, right? Which she was like trying to sound like a guy, like I got a gun, and she kept like getting it wrong, be like, nope, that's too deep. Going deeper, be like, nope, and then just give it up, and like going like way higher pitched with her own voice. And then and then I loved all of them. I thought they were all funny, like the whole ensemble there. Now, see, here's the thing, Cody. Let's get into it. All right, let's get to the part where it's the best. First off, I love that they gave the guy drugs. She just popped it in his mouth. She's like, "Now let's party," and he got real moody. And because I was like, "Oh, he's mad about because the one lady's back with the guy, and he cheated on her and he's mad about it." And she's like, "No, he always does this. He gets real moody and introspective." And then the next thing you know, and then it just smash cuts to him dancing. And I was like, "Oh no, it's the drugs." All right. It was really funny. I appreciated that. I thought that was funny that I loved him. He was my favorite character. What was his name? Was it Dwayne? Is that who it was? Was that the gay guy? Or right, and Clifton was the because we're in the spoiler, he was the one that was the bad guy. Which, we all saw it coming, right? I'm like, one of these, someone doesn't fit into this crew, and it's Clifton. You know what I mean? But, you got to try. Everybody's got that one friend that you're like, you don't fit in the adult group, but you fit in with the kid group, but you're still here. You have to kill him or he'll kill you. That's the lesson of this movie, okay? You have to kill that friend. You gotta go out in the woods. You gotta hire a couple of... Here's the thing. They never say that the guys were racist, right? I mean, they do all this racist stuff, but he just hires the rednecks. You know what I mean? To kill him. So that's the real question. Who's the real racist? Is it the redneck twins? Or is it Clifton? Cody, that's the food for thought that I want to give you, all right? That's what I want you to be pondering up in that little dome for the next 2 minutes, okay? I mean, it's definitely the twins, right? But Ranger White, let's talk about Ranger White. Let's look at you and me, Ranger White. Ranger White, all right? He's out here. Is he one of the good ones? I don't know. But, is he one of the bad ones? Probably not. I did think it was funny where they're like, they're like, prove that you're not racist. So he's like, if I was invited to the cookout, I would be flattered, but I would decline. And they're like, why? And he's like, because I would mess it up. Like it'd be a one white guy, a not white event. And they're like, oh, that's actually really good. That's actually a good answer. I loved every interaction he had with it, but he kept trying to they kept going back and forth like, oh, he's obviously... Because it's the same thing that I feel like we always say, if you were in a horror movie, you'd be like, yeah, no, you would know that the random park ranger that shows up out of nowhere is in on it. And they're like, no, he's in on it. We can't trust him. But no, Whitey, he was one of the good ones, Cody. He was there to save. He was there to protect. All right. That's what he was there for. The first thing that got me, Cody, let me roll the clock back a little bit. Let me cast your mind back. The first thing that made me laugh out loud was when King got shot with the crossbow and then immediately gets shot again. Less than 30 seconds after getting the bolt pulled out of him, gets shot again. And then he's just injured for the rest. And he gets stabbed again with a bolt. And I was just like, this poor guy. And they kept being like, I knew you had a gun. You are gangster. He's like, I'm changed, man. I'm a different person now.
Tyler, look, I'm gonna have to cut you off right there, but only because I have to bring up my favorite part of him getting shot twice. Is like, you were shot twice. Is like, yeah, just one hole though.
Yeah, same place, one hole.
And then how about the girl trying to pull the bolt out and stabs herself with it? That was a good one. There's a lot of good stuff in this one. And yeah, I don't know. Yeah, they do a great job of there's some spooky moments. It's funny because Bailey, she does this thing where she picks a scary movie, then we go to the theater, and she's like, I didn't know this was gonna be scary. I'm like, I don't know. You told us to go watch this, but this one she actually, it didn't quite cross the threshold where it was like rough for her, but she had some chills, but they were good. I thought they did a good job like earning them. And I do think it was interesting too, because like the Clifton was, he was very much like the misfit of the group, so you're like, oh, I suspect him the most, but like then he gets shot, and so you're like, oh, okay, well he's dead, so who is doing it, and so he like fakes his death, and I liked that. Yeah, I enjoyed how capable the characters were. Dwayne was fantastic, and I feel like as far as actors too, he like gave the best. Not everyone did a good job, but he gave a great performance, and like knowing he was the writer of it, I'm like, oh, I'm really excited to see what other stuff he does, what he does next. He had some great ones, like when they show the envelope with all their names on it, and they've crossed them off, and they all have like $100 next to there, and he's like, that is all your word, that is insulting, and he pulls out the money and puts it in his pocket, and just like, that's what I would do. Absolutely. I really appreciated the spades culture of the movie, because Bailey's family grew up playing spades, and so I've had to learn how to play spades, and no one wants to teach you. They really don't. And when you have experienced players too, they're like, I got someone I want to play with, and I don't want to let you in here because you're gonna ruin the whole game. So I appreciated that was like the main source of conflict that caused Clifton to become a villain. And what was the one, he goes to jail for 5 years for killing players? They're like, 5 years for manslaughter.
It's like graduate school or something. They said. I think like some of them were like that's so long, and then like the guy I think who's been to jail is like, that's nothing.
Yeah,
it was. I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I thought characters were great. There's a lot of good stuff. He makes the cool A, which is just like a giant spiked Kool-Aid, and then they're like, that's gonna give you cramps. And I love that he gets a cramp later in the middle. I was like, I was waiting for it to come too, but it came at just the perfect moment. Oh man.
Yeah, I like the moment where it's like, because they kind of tee up that King is a guy who's trying to be reformed, but has been like a kind of a thug gangster for most of their friendship. And so like when he starts even though he's been shot multiple times, starts fist fighting this like random redneck guy, it's like, yeah, no, you're probably not. So he just starts beating him up until he gets the cramp.
Oh yeah.
I thought that was funny. Like I appreciate just in general when horror movies are like, the reality of like, if you just swing on these guys, swing on the serial killer, you'll probably beat him, because it's like a weird dude who's like raised in a basement, Yeah. But not Clifton. Just didn't know how to play spades. Here's the thing about spades, Cody. I grew up playing spades too. Anybody who's like, we can't teach you, it's too complicated, they just don't like you. I'm sorry to say it, Cody. Spades not a complicated game. It has a total of 6 rules to it, and that's it. And you gotta explain.
Oh, this is your problem. You're a spades person who grew up playing spades and thinks it's a very simple game. And let me tell you, it is not. And I get what you're saying, right? The very basic rules are more or less straightforward. It takes a lot of practice to like recall the rules, be any good at it, but also like the strategy of spades is absurd. There's a lot at play. It is a complicated. You get out of here, dude. You get right on out of here. I'm about to murder some people that refuse to teach me spades. That's where I'm at.
I was hoping for like a list of rules, because like they've always this is a way too simple. Okay, the game, it's scored by hands. Winner must make a certain number of points. Okay, what more do you need to know?
That's the game. All right, everyone draw 13 cards and let's go.
Yeah, 500 points is common. 200 points is suitable for a short game. The thing is, I feel like you get into the complexities of it. When some people get a little... Okay, here's the real question, Cody. Yeah. Here's how I'm about to judge your wife's family.
Yeah.
What's the penalty for sloughing? Do you know what it is?
I don't even know what sloughing is.
Ask your wife. Text her right now. What is the penalty for sloughing cards? All right.
She's not gonna answer. Let me ask you this while we're waiting. Do you play? Can you do blind six? And can you go
whatever you want?
Can you go
guy.
nil?
Yeah.
Can you go nil?
Blind nil? Yes.
5
sir.
and nil, I think, is what it is, or whatever.
You can go dual blind nil in the game I played, Cody.
All right. Let's see what they say. I'm not familiar with the term, but maybe maybe I'm just bad at the game. Because let me tell you, every time I think I've got it figured out, I'm like, oh, I see why I messed up. There's more I got to keep in mind. There's so much to keep track of with spades. Oh, she's looking at it. Oh, let's see. Yeah, we tried to play a couple months ago with a friend of mine, and I think he might have known the rules or played once or twice, and his wife didn't know the rules at all. And let me tell you, we lost so hard.
Here's the thing. If you're playing with an inexperienced person, what's going to get you? All right, everybody out here, the Cliftons of the world, this is what's going to get you. The sandbags. That's how they're going to win. Okay, if you're playing against an inexperienced team, you got to sandbag them. You hit them with the sandbags, which is like you bid real low, you make them take way more than they mean to.
Yeah.
Then you get the sandbags, which lose you a ton of points.
Yeah.
Once you get 10, you lose 100 points.
Bailey and I, our first Thanksgiving together, I think. Were we married? I think so. Anyway, we won the little mini spades tournament at Thanksgiving. Pretty proud of that day. Since then, I've gotten really, I just realized I got really good luck with my draws. I was like, spades is easy. I figured it out. And every time I played since then, I was like, you know what? I've gotten some really bad hands, and I am not that good at this game to compensate for that.
Here's the problem I run into.
Oh, all right. Here, I got an answer.
Oh.
The penalty for sloughing cards is never-ending ridicule. That is what she answered. It's sloughing when you play a card that you already had, that you weren't allowed to play, or was it that card was? I don't know. Let's say
sloughing? it's like diamonds, right? And let's say you've got a diamond. Okay?
Yeah.
But it's like you've gotten the amount of tricks that you need. So you don't need another one. And it's like you've got the queen of diamonds or something, and it's like all around, and you're gonna take it. So you play like a club.
But you had to play diamonds because you still had diamonds. Yeah.
Yeah. Which you can.
That's what got Clifton in trouble, right? Yeah,
I think so. I think it was sloughing that got him in trouble. Honestly, it's what it sounded like. What the issue was. Here's the thing about sloughing. Penalty. I first learned at scout camp. White Boy Scout camp. So I'm lucky we didn't. It's like we're gonna cut off
white camp.
White Boy Scout camp. The kind of times where it's like you lose a finger for sloughing. But no, the penalty was you got tied upside down to a tree. And you're thinking, that didn't happen. Yes, it did. Many times people got tied upside down to trees. So Clifton,
we tied someone to a tree. Just
get tied to a tree,
And then it was too tight, and he started crying, and it went real bad. And the scout leaders were like, that's it's a good lesson to learn. Never let someone tie you up. I was like, it's a little on the nose, but I'll take it. I thought, he's like, that's the lesson for you. I was like, all right, we're ready for the lesson. Don't let yourself get tied up. I was like, well, I guess that's the lesson, but I thought maybe there's some deeper allegory or some life lesson. But yeah, no, it's a good point. Don't get tied up ever.
Here's a lesson for you, Cody.
Yeah.
I think there's a lesson that we can all learn from this movie.
Yeah.
And that is never rent a cabin in the woods.
That's a good point.
It feels like a bad idea. Now, have I done it? Yes.
Yeah.
But I'm a big white boy, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's
Mm-hmm.
basically a cheat code for life, right?
I wouldn't know, but I will say yes, it is.
Cody, you're out here. I've called you Hitler's wet dream before on a podcast, so don't
Yeah.
try to say, Cody, you're out here saying that you're not playing on easy mode when you yourself have a job now. When so
True.
many people of color do not.
I did get a job. Yeah.
Cody,
I have to
how
go to a job
dare
tomorrow.
you?
Can you believe that?
I can, because I have to as well. And
Tyler,
I'm not looking forward to it.
let me ask you a question. One of my favorite bits from the movie this last time watching it, I was like, girl, you're strong. You're strong with a C. Let me ask you this question. What does that mean? Because Bailey and I had very different ideas. It says you're strong with a C.
Okay, here's what I'm gonna say. Right,
And she breaks the door down, maybe.
My knee-jerk reaction, right, was, "Oh, she's strong."
Yep. Uh-huh.
And then I thought about it, and I was like, "It's definitely not that. It's definitely something way dirtier and something probably offensive." That's what I thought, but I can't. I was like, I don't know what it is, but I'm like, it's definitely more offensive.
I was leaning towards strong as well, but we don't know. And as whites, it's not our job to know, but I'll just say I liked it, Unless it's racist, and then I didn't like it.
When I Googled strong with a C, I came with Best Buy powerful air conditioners. Is that what we're talking about?
Oh, strong like an air conditioner. Yeah, no, yeah. I've heard that saying, of course. I'm familiar. Tyler, I think I just leaned into my mic and just blew it all the way out. I'm so excited.
So much, and it's fine.
Yeah. Oh, you found something good over there. I can see your eyes lighting up.
It's taken me to Urban Dictionary, but they're just.
Oh, remember Urban Dictionary, everyone?
AC is usually said in Vine edits, and it stands for audio credit. Is that closer to what we're looking for?
It's not further.
All right, keep going. I'm digging down.
Oh, you want me to keep going? Let me tell you, I got no more notes, but it's been a pleasure. You got to tell me more stuff. Otherwise, we get to do our favorite activity, which is IMDb trivia. Which I'm gonna guess that it's real small for this movie.
Cody. So I found a Reddit thread discussing this. Someone linked to an Urban Dictionary for the word "strong," which is a meme term for too strong or powerful.
Love it.
So we were right. 2 white boys. We cracked the system. I think we're honorary black people now. Right? Can we say that? We can go into the neighborhood. We can go in.
Are we invited to the cookout now?
We're invited.
Are we allowed to decline an invite to the cookout?
Okay. Now somebody farther down says, "Strong." Source, I'm black. So, I don't know what to trust now, because I feel like what Urban Dictionary is a very white site. Right? But this person claims to be black. I feel whiter than I've ever felt in my whole life. Not seconds after claiming to be invited to the cookout. So, I think we've all learned a valuable lesson here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've learned a lot.
This is going to end up like our Detective Pikachu episode, Cody. That's what's going to happen. You're going to say
where's the dancing Pikachu? Let's get that
I'll
up.
Pull him up, Cody. I made you watch it. I'm going to pull up right now.
I did see very interesting. I'm looking at the trivia, and let me tell you, there's only one that I'm really going to share. So this is an interesting theory, but they point out several times that Clifton has an Android phone, which they claim is a dead giveaway that he's the killer. Because as you may know, Apple infamously does not allow their products to be used by villains in movies. So there you go. So that's, in addition to just being a joke, it's a giveaway that he is the killer.
Here's the thing. I'm going to call hard BS on that. Apple does not allow the... First off, here's a little fun fact for you guys. For all of our one listener or less, now that, may have alienated entire ethnicities and races. Apple can't say that you can't use an iPhone in a movie because you just have to not... All you have to do to avoid them having that control is just not say it's an iPhone.
Yeah. But if it's an Apple movie, right? An Apple production, they won't let you... I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. So,
I'm just saying, Apple...
I'm out here. I'm just an Android user out here in an Apple world. And I guess I'm the killer. I guess I'm the villain of my own story, if that's...
I got it. Got the same video that I made you watch all the, for an hour and a half during the Detective Pikachu recording. It's the exact same video.
The long lost Detective Pikachu recording.
It's so good. It's so
lost
cute.
For racism reasons, which we don't have to get into here. You gonna drop this link or what? Because do
you want it? I didn't think you wanted him.
I need him.
I'm gonna do it, Cody. Here's the thing. I feel like you're thinking that I don't have much to say about the movie, but I liked this movie and I did think it was very funny. And I have things, you know what I mean? Here's the thing, Cody. Let me talk about the thing that really stuck out to me the most in this movie. Are you frozen, Cody?
I'm not frozen.
Oh, no, he's gone.
But I have muted the Detective Pikachu video, but it's still playing. It's that powerful.
Oh,
I can't mute it.
Here's the thing. Your face froze. No.
Keep going.
Oh, no, Cody's being... Okay, so let me talk to you about drug use, Cody. All right? Let's you and me, Cody, let's get together. Let's take a bite out of crime, all right? Because only you can prevent forest fires, all right? Adderall. Cody, I don't know about you. I take Adderall all the time. Take it for fun. Take it for pleasure. Or I take it for... Because I've prescribed it like a nerd, okay? They make Adderall seem like it's a freaking
their depiction of Adderall was really... was really funny.
Now, here's the thing. I will say this. Cody, look at me. This is a safe space, okay? I'm going to say this. Allegedly speaking, have you ever consumed Adderall? Addy, as it's known on the streets. All right. I have. In copious amounts. So much. I snort it. I vein it. You know what I mean? Here's the thing. I will admit Adderall affects people without ADHD way differently than it. Like, for example, I take it, calms me way down, brings my heart rate way down, helps me to focus and be normal. If someone with a normal brain takes it, has the opposite effect, generally speaking.
Yeah.
But I don't think I've ever heard of somebody tripping balls on Adderall. Usually what happens is you do kind of zone out and you have the ability to hyper focus. That's the thing. Here's the thing. All you kids out there taking these Addies off the street, all right? First off, just lie to your doctor. It's way cheaper. Second off, uh, all it's doing is it's giving you the ability to hyper focus, which is the superpower of the ADHD. All right, it's the thing that you all crave. It's what the plants crave, Cody. Okay, and I was sitting there, I was watching this lady, but she was out here. She was like, "I'm watching. I will watch." I'm like, this is more how I felt like when I was on weed. When I did a weed that one time. There's a little side effect. I love saying I did a weed because it's true, and people are always like, "You've never done it. You're such a narc." I'm like, I did do it. I did a weed, and I love it because nobody who smokes weed will ever not cringe at that. It's my favorite thing. Anyway, she's right. She's watching. I loved everything she was doing. I did not find it realistic to the Adderall, but I did love it. And I
for a movie really rooted in realism, it was The Outlier. Well, this was interesting, right? The Adderall, like you talked about, it has a certain effect for people with the ADHD because of the synapses or whatever. But the other thing is, when you take it as a pill, it's slow release. Whereas if you were
not all the time.
But like as you take it as a pill, it's Whereas if you're someone who's gonna ingest it in a different way that it's not intended for, then that might hit you different, but also probably still not how she got it,
The fact that they never once made her just like mention that she had her mouth was dry.
I know,
because that's the height.
She should have been diving into that lake mouth first, Let
me tell you, I had all these potheads when I did a weed. They came at me they're like, "Oh, your mouth's gonna be dry," and I looked them in the eye and I'd say, "I take Adderall. My mouth feels so moist right now."
What are you talking about, dude? I got wet mouth.
River of wet. It's so wet right
Dry
now.
mouth? Try wet mouth,
so
dude.
Moist.
I got moist mouth, all right?
Okay, first off, when you look up the effects of Adderall, first off, it always brings up the side effects, which is annoying. One of them, overdose.
How is that a side effect?
That's a thing you did. What are the side effects? What are the effects of an overdose? Many things, but overdose is not a side effect. I guess psychosis. It's a side effect listed under
psychosis. All right,
Adderall. So maybe.
All right.
Maybe it'll drive you insane. I highly doubt that anybody's actually been driven insane by Adderall. But I did enjoy it though. I enjoyed her going crazy and her popping up out of the tree that she was hiding in and the mud across her face and everything. And just her being really weird the rest of the movie. I was like, oh yeah. That was the good stuff. And just earlier on when he was like, oh, I need some of those, because she took some of the painkillers, and then he's like, I need some painkillers, and he's like, this is Adderall, and she's like, oh sorry, and then goes into her purse, which then she made it seem like the sound that was made was there's 30 pill bottles in there. Pulled out the painkillers.
Oh,
so funny. I loved just how each of them were such, even though it felt far more realistic, they still were, each of them were
characters.
Yeah, a classic horror movie type character. You had the big guy, the gay guy, the the drug addict, or the drunk person. And I did like that. I thought that was pretty funny. But they did it in a realistic way of in a friend group you do have those people who fit those stereotypes.
Yeah. I forgot about my other favorite Clifton moment, which is when I think it's when they finally pick him to be the sacrifice or whatever. And when he goes to leave the room, he just slaps, while King's on the floor, he just slaps him on the face and then bolts out of the room. I was like, it's just, he didn't need to do the slap. He didn't need to turn the gun the right way, but man, were they two of my favorite moments in the movie.
That slap was so funny because I was looking away for a second, and so I looked back. I heard the smack, looked back, saw his head snapping back, and the door slammed shut or something. And I was just like, Like, I was like, the Clifton just slap
Mm-hmm.
King for no reason. So, like, my reaction was like perfectly mirroring King being like, "What the
Yeah.
heck was that?"
Oh man.
So it was so funny. Oh, there were moments like the movie was, for the most part, it was very serious, but it made those moments of funny just hit so
Yeah.
hard.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you know, and like the fact that when Clifton was giving his speech, and they're like, "Oh," and he was like, "Oh, maybe you guys had changed, and then you voted me to die," and then he gave all these reasons. They're like, "It's mainly just the Trump thing," and like they just kept going back to like, it was really just the Trump thing. That was the only reason.
So good.
It was a good movie, Cody.
It's good. I mean,
It's a good one. It's right up there with the Medea movies.
Oh,
It's like works of art.
yeah, it's a good one. There's just a lot. Like, what do we do? Call the cops? And then they just all bust out laughing. I was like, man, this is a good one. What's the? Oh my gosh, you got Rosa Parks on your shirt. I'm just reading the quotes. Would she be sitting down right now? I mean, that's exactly what she did. Oh man. Yeah. Oh, I can't see you, Dwayne. Say something gay. What? That is so stereotypical. How dare you? Got it.
Yeah, I love that.
And then one there's the other one too, where I think it's when Clifton is like evil, but he says, or maybe it's when he leaves the room, but he says, "All lives matter." And then he's like,
yeah, that's the last thing he says. He leaves the room.
Oh my gosh! And then there's the one where it's the video of Morgan getting her wig torn off by the torture device, and she's like, "Man, that is a real good wig glue." Like, I don't know. It's just, it was a good one. It was a really good one. I'm impressed by the writing. I thought they nailed it. These are mostly no-name actors. I haven't heard of any of these people basically, and they all did their role really well. I'm curious what else the directors worked on. Oh, he did Tom and Jerry. So there you
movies.
Go. Taxi with Queen Latifah and Jimmy Fallon. Barbershop, the new one, I think. Fantastic Four. He's all over the map. The new Shaft movie, Ride Along 2. That's funny. He did a bunch of Kevin Hart movies, and they have like a Kevin Hart dig in there. One of the quotes. There you go. Bunch of music videos. Oh my goodness, all the music videos. Tyrese.
Classic.
Tyrese. Casey and JoJo. What else we got? I think I saw an NSYNC one in there.
Yeah, I was gonna say NSYNC. I didn't know if you were what were you looking for?
Tim Story. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Yeah, I'm really curious to see what they do in the future. Dwayne Perkins, who played Dwayne, he was great. He was awesome.
Yeah, I think it was really good. I hope they, do more. I did think it was funny, like they did the laugh at the end, almost like they're setting it up like a jigsaw type thing, where like, oh, is he dead? Like, did they actually get him? I don't know if you heard that. I heard it on my at home, not in the theaters.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, Cody. Am I racist because I didn't go see this in the
exactly.
theater?
Basically, anyone who didn't see this movie in theaters is a racist. Obviously, I did see it in theaters, so I get to, I'm exempt, of course. But, that's on you. And next Juneteenth, you're going to have to, pay a penance for your sins.
Cody, let me talk about the black people around where I live, all right? Here's the problem, okay? Because they're not normal, okay? Here's the problem.
Yep.
They are Brazilian, which means in a movie theater, they're not fun. You know, they're not shouting at the screen. They're just talking to each other in very slightly hushed tones in Portuguese. And I'm like, look.
Yep.
Stop talking. But then I'm like, am I racist for saying that? And I'm like, but can you be racist against black
That's a
people
good question.
from Brazil? Because I feel like they're the whole separate group, you know?
Tyler, let me
And
do
I'm like,
you.
I don't know what to do in this
Let me
situation.
do you a solid.
What do I
because
do,
I know how to
Cody?
say one thing
What do
in
I do?
Portuguese, and that is, I speak Portuguese. So what you want to do is you want to whip your head back, and you want to say "Il fala português," and then turn right back and pretend, and then so that they'll know that you know that they're talking to each other. See, and then they'll be like, they'll think twice. Imagine this. Imagine if you were talking in a different language and someone turned around and said, I speak the language you're speaking, and then just didn't engage with you further. You know what I'm saying? Can you imagine what that would do to your mind?
I mean, I'd be terrified. Here's the thing, though, Cody. We're all familiar with Spanglish. The Brazilians, they do it better. Okay, they do the Portuguese English better than Spanish and English with with anyone else. Okay, because they so seamlessly flow between Portuguese and English, and I'm like, I can't tell if what you just said was English or Portuguese.
Yeah.
Freaking out now because I'm like, what are you saying? And they'll separate it out. They'll like split it up mid-sentence. One person, usually there's at least one person that is consistently speaking each language, but they're talking across an entire row. And I just, what I'm saying is I just need you to teach me how to speak Portuguese, so that I can understand them, so that I can engage with them and get invited to the cookout.
Here's what you do.
Politely decline.
First, you learn Spanish. Then you put on a Creole accent and just kind of mush mouth your words together. Bam, you got Portuguese.
I'm about to say the most racist thing I've said all night, Cody. Portuguese is a prettier language than Spanish. I said it, Cody. I said it. It's over. I can't take it back.
It's just so upsetting to me because when I hear Portuguese, I'm like, someone who speaks Spanish just like fell over in the mud while they were trying to speak, and that's what it sounds like to me, And maybe they'll say that about Spanish, but I just need you to understand that like Spanish is very simple and clean syllables, and Portuguese, they do a lot of zhuzhing and a lot of ouring and a lot of like ershing, and it doesn't sound nice to me, It sounds wrong. It sounds like they're speaking Spanish wrong, but they know it and they like it, and that's what makes me the most upset,
But it's like comparing French and German. One sounds like you're mad and you're shouting all the time. The other one just sounds like you're making love to the words that you're spewing out of your mouth.
Nope, I don't know. Let's agree on this.
One feels like you've wrapped your tongue around every syllable and really gone to town on it. Just really slobbered it up. One sounds wet.
We can all agree, at least, that Italian sounds like, it's so sing-songy and fun. Italian's just fun. Like, you could show up to me and do a whole racist rant in Italian, and I'd be like, that guy seems like a cool guy. You know what I'm saying? That's what I think we can agree on. It's so fun. It's so sing-songy, and I think that's the lesson of the day.
Yeah, maybe. I could go for that. Here's the thing, Cody. If you've left your message, you've left your lesson, right? This is your lesson. This is what are you going to give this to Cody's lesson for the episode?
Don't let yourself get tied up.
Seal of approval.
That one? Yeah.
Don't go chasing waterfalls. Is that it? Is that the lesson? Okay. This is what I want to be known as the lesson that Tyler teaches you all. Okay? If you're in New England and if you're like doing this in New England, right? They're racist. That's all you need to know. Okay? If you're encountering anybody, mostly white people, but really just anybody in New England, what I've learned from living here for over 2 years is they're racist.
Are you?
And they're like,
are you telling me the Dunkin'
old-timey
commercials
racist.
are a lie? You're telling me Ben Affleck and Ice Spice aren't really friends?
Look, Ice Spice is from New York, which is... I gave you the reason. Why was the reason that I gave you? Which was... Because she's hard to understand. People from Boston are hard to understand. That's the reasoning behind it. I know that's what went through an executive's mind.
I'm so mad. I'm
You
so
sent
mad
me
they don't have like a
thing.
3-minute loop of all the little mini Dunkin' ads, because I would just watch them over and over again and study them, you know? I just need to know their meaning, you know? I'm sure that I think the reason they haven't put them out is that I would absolutely form a cult around them, you know, and they would become scripture to me, and I would gain followers, and we would take over the greater Boston area. So that's why it can never be, but I want to understand them, you know?
Yeah. Okay, no, I can bring this back around, Cody.
Mm-hmm.
The way Ice Spice talks, that's how the Brazilians talk.
Okay.
Where you're like, was that English? Did I understand what you said? Because it sounded like it didn't make sense, but it may have been a different language. So, I mean, I don't know how this relates back to the movie, but I just like I've learned that it's not fun to watch a movie with them because they're not, rowdy enough to be shouting and hollering at the movie.
Yep.
Which is when it gets fun. But they're not suppressed by white guilt enough, or at all enough, to not whisper loudly to each other.
Yeah.
In several different languages. So I think you and I should go out to the woods, rent out a cabin to white Brazilians,
all right,
and hunt them for sport.
As long as...
Because I'll feel guilty doing it with non-white Brazilians.
As long as it's $100 a head, I'm in, That's my price to do murder.
Because Cody, here's the thing, and moreover, why are you white in Brazil? All right, if you're a white person in Brazil, why? Right,
that's what I want to know. Nazis.
Is it racist to kill white people in Brazil? Exactly.
Yep.
It can't be racist because they're not. Argentina?
I think Argentina is the main one, but I think Brazil has got some stuff going on too.
So we can hunt the whiteys.
It's allowed
in Brazil. Okay. Because I'll feel bad if we hunt the non-whites in Brazil.
They're out here, they're dancing, they're playing
time.
football, and they're loving life, And I could never interrupt that. They got meat swords. How could you hate a people that invented a meat sword, You like steak? Well, what if I put it on a sword? You ever been to the Brazilian barbecue and they got a sword with meat on it and they're just offering it up? They're like, you want meat from this meat sword? It's like, yeah, I do. Thank you. Have you also invented a way to make cheese and bread one product? Also, yes. This is, it's a good time.
Cody, not only have I been to one of these places, I have been struck in the head.
You've been blessed by the meat Hold on. Sword. Have you been knighted by the meat sword?
I've been blessed.
Is it? Are you Sir Tyler Bergstrom?
By the meat sword, Cody. Yes. Absolutely. Anyway, The Blackening was a good movie. Final. I feel like Cody, let's come together for this final.
So many lessons, so much learning.
Don't do
it
for sport.
If you're gonna do it out of pure hatred, and the racism in your heart. Don't do it for money. That's just gross.
Unless you yourself
Yeah, then it's
Are
allowed.
black, then it's fine.
I think that's what
right?
I learned
Is that
from
right?
the movie,
That's
among
allowed.
other things. But that's the main lesson, you know? Tyler, here's my
Just,
question.
be better.
What are you gonna rate it? And you're gonna hear my rating and you're gonna fall out of your chair and you're gonna want to strangle me, but joke's on you because we are not in the same room. So
I have a rating I want to give it, but it's
Yeah.
like, does it deserve it? You know what I mean?
yes.
Can I ask a question? Can I ask
Okay.
for another rating for reference? I need to know. I'm trying to think of the horror movies we've done in the past. What was the one we just did
Talk
recently?
to me.
Talk to me. So, like, Talk to Me. And then last year, I know Bailey's pick was Boo.
Boo 2. We've done
Boo 2.
Silence of the Lambs, Signs, The Village, The Witch, Hereditary, Midsummer. Let me get to the next Halloween. Eraserhead, Parasite, The Boy, The Invisible Man. Oh, gosh.
Oh, The Boy. Oh, okay, yeah.
then-
No, yeah, we did.
Get to the next year.
Forgot how many years we've
Yeah,
done
it's
this
been
for.
a while, dude. I made a mistake. I think I messed up the thingy. All right, here we go. Any more over here? Nope. Any more over here? Get Out.
Did we do Get Out
Boo
for
2,
Spooky Boys, or did we do it for?
and Sweeney Todd were 2021.
What did I give Get Out? 'Cause I feel like Get
you-
Out had some funny moments.
You gave it an A. We did last year was The Lost Boys, Coraline, The Devil's Backbone, and Lights Out.
Lights Out. So spooky, Cody.
Why'd you do this to me?
Yes, does that movie still haunt
It
you,
will
Cody?
tonight. Yeah,
'Cause
you
you
brought
thought
it
about
up,
it?
so
Yeah, it is one of those movies.
you're running
isn't
up
it?
the staircase like an idiot in my own house.
It's one of those movies that the more you like are scared by it, the more it panics
Yeah.
you, the more you panic. You know. I just the more I'm thinking about it, and I'm like, I'm praying about it, and I'm going with what the Lord wants me to do, and I'm feeling compelled to go.
Wow.
I'm just gonna go A plus.
I'm so happy for you, dude. I'm
Perfect
so proud
movie.
of you. I'll give it a B plus. And here's the thing. Here's the
Oh, is it
thing.
'cause it black
I think
people,
it's a
Cody?
B
Is that
plus.
why
I loved it a
the B
lot.
from-
Rewatching it, it was one of those. I was so charmed by it and surprised by it in the theater that I might have given it like an A or an A minus. But then rewatching it, I was like, oh, okay, maybe it wasn't quite as scary as I'd remembered. Still great, still a lot of fun. The production value wasn't quite as high as maybe a normal A movie might be, so it just, I don't know. I still thought it was a good one. But then again, sometimes a comedy, it's like, yeah, you watch it once and they're not always all rewatchers. So maybe, should I rate it higher? I don't know. I'll retract it. It's an A minus. It's an A minus.
I mean-
really good one. Pleasant surprise. I really would. I'd recommend it. If you have any interest, check that one out. Give Juneteenth a little love next year. Watch a Juneteenth movie and have a laugh or two.
Here's the thing, Cody. You're talking about like this has had some spooks. I didn't think that this.
You
was
have to understand
scary at all.
something. When you watch a scary movie with Bailey in the movie theater, your hand is getting crushed anytime there's any volume of suspense happening, And so it makes it a lot. I jump a lot more when I'm watching movies with Bailey, because whereas normally a movie I might get 2 or 3 jumps, it's going to be doubled or tripled because there's someone next to you reacting very harshly to everything. And even the fake jumps are like big jumps because someone's yanking your arm around, So anyway, yeah, rewatching it, I was like, this really wasn't very spooky. But in the theater, it was a little spooky, But yeah, she leaned over and was like, I didn't know this was scary, It's like, you picked it. You told me you wanted to watch this. You saw the trailer. It's a horror movie.
Yeah.
But it is what it is. So it's a little spooky, not very spooky, but it's very funny, Give it a watch.
Yeah. I mean, I think about it as more like it's a Medea movie without all of the like questionable things, without Medea. And without like a lot of the stereotypes removed.
Oh, what a film! Check it out. I want to thank everyone. For listening. I want to thank Dancing Pikachu for giving me my second wind. And you can find us wherever you want to. Whatever find us, share us, or don't. But if there's a movie you want us to review, you can hit us up at Opinion Havers. And until next time, watch movies.
And have opinions.
This is white to base, white to base, white.